The finals just had its brand new patch 8.2. We're going to look at everything and all the details there with that. We also did have the brand new live stream early, so I am going to cover the details from that as well as some new things that are coming and things that are here already. We'll tie that all back into some dev mentions as well as some few details from the Grand Majors. We got a ton to talk about. What's up, World Utopia here back into the video. Today we're checking out all things the finals. Okay, so we'll jump into update 8.2. We'll go over those details very quickly. Back again with it is Embark Dusty with the opening statement. She goes on to say that update 8.2 is live and that you can reach new heights with Trentilla, the proud sponsor of this week's World Tour stop, that is the Vertigo. You'll experience an all-new game show event, which is aptly named Double Jump. When it's active, you'll be able to jump twice in a row and expect lots of power in the second hop. And as you can see, yes, that second hop does provide quite the distance. Now, jumping over to the actual patch notes side of things, the opening statement here is the exact same as the Discords. The only additional stuff here is they do go over the new store update. And that actually does provide a bunch of new sets here. We have the Silent Ledger set in full outfit, brings us over to the Coverage Cutters set, finally getting some new throwing knives. We have the Wireline Weapon set, which has a host of weapons in this one, and those do pertain to light, medium, and heavy as well. Next up is the Brew Brawler hat, which of course does speak on its own. And then last but not least, we have the Eclipse Shade set. However, this really isn't a set, it's just for the LH1. That does actually cover for the 8.2 patch notes side of things. However, we still have a ton to go over. So we actually did get one more announcement here on the Discord, and this was for the Ruby rewards for Season 8. They do mention that those are now on, and that you can try to reach for the top 500 until the end of the season. This includes a ton of new bragging rights with the Season 8 Ruby ARN220. You get the Ruby Nullifier, the Ruby Emblem, the player background badge, and even sticker and charm. They also do showcase off some of the other ranked rewards here. Again, that one was actually wrong in the dev client, so now it is officially the ARN220 that is the Ruby weapon. Now next up here, as I did mention, we did get a developer live stream a day early. So I'm going to cover this one today that coincides with this update. There wasn't a ton that happened in chat, but there was a bunch that happened in the live version or video version of the stream. So I'll break down some of the developer notes there. And we do have some confirmed updates. This one actually does apply to the Grand Majors, this first section, where they did talk about, yes, we actually did get an unveil of the team bundles. The first 5 so far have actually been shown off here, and these will land in a few weeks. So going over each of these, we have the KCP bundle that is from Pioneers GG. These all do include a full set as well as a full weapon set. You'll also notice that the weapons actually do differ from bundle to bundle. So in here we have one is the SSG or Space Station Gaming set. We do see the full outfit here, of course, is like a space uniform, but then the weapons and gadgets actually do differ here. So not only do they have unique properties from each bundle, they also do for the selection weapons and gadgets as well. That applies to this also the Alliance bundle, which again includes a full outfit set, as well as some additional weapons here like the XP54. This one, though, does have in common with the FCAR. The Envy bundle is a bit different here and actually has some similarities with this one. We can also see the weapons and gadgets here, although it does look like every single bundle does have the SA-1216 in it, which does apply to the NTMR bundle as well. Again, but they do have a different gadget here, which is the flash grenade, I believe, as well as an ARN220 skin. So pretty cool there. They do have the similarities there with the SA-12, but everything else is fairly different, especially when it comes to the uniform and their different bundles. Now, there is some additional details there. These will actually be a revenue share to the orgs. So that does mean that these bundles will be real money bundles only. They will not be via multi-bucks. So because there's a revenue share system, and I believe it's just a bit easier to track with that, as well as it just getting a bit messy with all the multi-bucks that are out there, these will be on a real money revenue share. Still really cool there that the overall bundles do get some revenue sharing and provide further incentive to get partnered with Embark via an org. Now there is a couple additional details here at the Grand Majors. There's some few other things we'll get into here in a second. This one actually does pertain to the game as a whole, but was talked about during the Grand Majors. That is the thermal vision and the status on that one. Of course, it has been removed for quite some time now. They mentioned that it's only going to return with a full rework in place, which we've honestly known that there is no known quick fix for it currently. I don't know if this thing's ever going to return at this point. It does still seem like they want to try to figure that one out, but maybe they're waiting till after the majors is my guess, especially the Grand Major portion. as it just has too much of it being unbalanced. The last thing here was a note on the competitive pool, which specifically pertained to the maps. They actually did say that Kyoto was not in the closed qualifier map pool at all. It seems like that one is synonymous with people not liking it for cash out, so that's nice that they didn't add it for players who really didn't like it. And Seoul was also in, but it was rarely played. Basically, it was almost unused. So those two maps there, I would expect, have the same sort of layout for the Grand Majors. Maybe we don't see Seoul at all for the Grand Major, but it does seem like Kyoto for sure is not going to be in that map pool. Now, during the stream, as I mentioned, there was some additional things here. There was some teasers and speculations. The first one here was for the next in-game event. Currently, there are no details on it, but they did talk about it as a teaser. So again, fairly cool there. We did get some mentions on that previously, that there was going to be a Holto event during Season 8, but we're not sure on when that's coming just yet. Now, that does cover the stream side of things. However, outside of the game, there was some additional things here. Yes, this has been officially confirmed. We did finally get the release of Ospoos. So yes, the drink is real and it is available for buying and pre-ordering. This is actually in collaboration with another brand called PXL. So you can see that here under the PXL shop, which is PXL X Ospoos Sour Core. So yes, they did release the Sour Core variant first. It is a green apple flavored virtual icon. And notably, a lot of people have been pointing out, it is sugar-free. Ospoo's in-game is also sugar-free, so that does tie into the game's lore as well. Now, PXL is actually a known Sweden brand. The release window seems to be the 42nd week or mid-October. That's at least from the translations there. The status currently right now is that it is pre-order live. It is currently under SEK pricing, which is a Sweden currency. To convert that, which is 449 Swedish krona, that is 47.46 in US dollars. Fans have pointed out that's actually fairly cheap because you do get 24 cans, so it's around $2 a can, which is actually similar pricing for most energy drinks. In fact, in a lot of regions, it's actually much more expensive for energy drinks. I do know in the US it is around that though, usually $2 to $2.50 per drink. Depending if you buy it in bulk though, it can be a bit cheaper. Overall though, that's very, very fair pricing, especially with the collaboration and it being tied to the game directly. Typically, those actually go for a lot more, especially when they do collaborations and just in general with game ties. So I'm actually quite surprised in the pricing, very fair there. Now the market focus here, we have to go over some details and some discrepancies with it so far. It is, of course, because this is a Sweden brand, is Sweden first. So it is local community prioritized right now for early delivering. Again, it is available right now through that PXL Power web shop, but it is a Swedish retailer right now. And currently there is no international shipping listed. So you might be asking, we did get Rob's comments on this talking about that it was going to happen in NA as well, or at least internationally we would be getting Ospoo's drink. So why is Sweden happening first? Well, of course, Embark is from Sweden. They also probably are working on the QC issues and everything else, so local canning, the distribution, and a tighter launch control. They do also have to work with labels and laws. The EU beverage compliance differs from US and UK, so the phased rollouts are common there. And they also have to deal with licensing and logistics, so heavy liquids and import rules that does equal to staged expansion. Now, if it does more than likely come to global, which it probably will, that's going to be during either a Phase 2 drop here, which will probably be a separate distributor and partner, or a region-specific SKU. So this one is just going to be tied to more than likely Sweden only. Currently, they don't have any firm worldwide date announced, or even who the partner could be. But for the outlook overall, again, more than likely we'll see a rollout, and we could look out for other partner archetypes that they could collaborate with. For the UK and EU gamers, we could see Sneak style, X-Gamer style, or even Rogue style partners. For the US mass energy reach, we could see potential partners like G Fuel, Ghost Style, Celsius, or even potentially Prime. Again, these are just examples, no confirmations or leaks as of just yet, so do take that with a grain of salt. But more than likely, PXL has not been known to distribute in the United States, and it does seem like they more than likely don't have a license for the UK or US to actually provide that product, and I wouldn't think that they get one just for this drink, although potentially if they do see a mass reach for this product in general. But more than likely, I could see it being one of these examples here or any of the other US and UK energy drink companies. So given all that intel, what could we look out for next? Of course, we do have to wait for Embark, the finals, and even Ospoo's official posts, although we didn't have one recently for this one. Actually quite surprised on that, but because it wasn't global, that does make sense. We also gotta look out for retail ads, EU fitness or energy retailers listing Sour Core for cross-border orders, and any other potential future updates for the non-Nordic delivery from PXL. So if they did want to eventually get their licenses in other areas, or if they already have it, and they did want to distribute globally. Now, one last mention with this is actually this is a brand new flavor. So this was never in PXL's lineup ever or any of their legacy lineups. This Ospoo's branded flavor is brand new to PXL, which again is Sour Core Green Apple. So pretty cool, just figured I'd mention that one. Moving on here, and last up we do the mentionables from my community. This first one, actually I am holding a competition and an event with the sponsors. Now this original idea actually did come from my moderator, Chai Dog, who wanted to throw something together where we do have the battle of the sponsors. So of course with this season it is Trantilla and Holto. And currently I do have the members list on my Discord, how many did choose each sponsor over on my Discord. You can head to the sign up page and actually select via selecting the emote down below. And there is that live counter, it does update every 6 minutes or so. Now I have also tied giveaways to this event, and depending on which sponsor you select, you're actually limited on which giveaway you can join. So I'm going to try to do those be sponsor specific. There will be a few that don't tie into this, but we also do have a point system here. Now there is a daily cap for some of these, and I am still reworking the points overall. It's also going to be a weighted system, so don't worry, just pick the sponsor you do like. But there's also going to be special events tied to this, giveaways, and the winners at the very end of the season will get a custom role badge, they'll be in a collage, and even a potential bonus surprise. So again, if you wanted to participate in this new system, I am still working on it, and I hopefully will bring this back every single season with the new sponsors. But you can currently join very easily in the sign up sponsorship page on my Discord, and then select whichever sponsorship you want. Again, that role selection is final and permanent. There is no changes there. If you do wish to change, or you've made a selection completely on accident and you haven't joined up in any of the giveaways, then you can make a ticket or a support ticket on my channel as well, or on my Discord channel. We do have a ticket system there, and you can ask for your sponsorship to be changed. But again, only if you've never joined a giveaway and if you haven't participated. I do have the first points announcement happening tomorrow, so you can kind of see live on how the actual sponsors are doing versus each other. Again, hopefully eventually I do have that system be a live updated ticker. For right now, still working out the kinks with that though. Last up here, we do have those mentionables from my star models page. This first one here comes from Thimble, which he's calling the Western Raptor. He does mention that if this video reaches YouTube, he shall make it IRL. I do think he means picture, but yeah, it did reach YouTube, so it is on here. I actually really like this set overall. It's really good. The browns actually do match each other, and the red trim looks so nice. Even the nice detail on the cards up top and the 9-3R skin pairs very well. Next up here we have one from SFE7. This one looks super cybernetic and funky overall. Somehow the colors actually do work, even though there's purples and reds together in this, and even the white undertones. Like this one very much so. Even the mask works as well. Third up here we have one again from a frequent flyer, Haster, who calls this one Sim City Vibes. Definitely agree there. Also another kind of cybernetic one, especially because this was from last season. So we have the red glasses with the white outfit in Via, and those nice devil horns to pair it all off. Next up here we have one from Mama. No label for this one, but it is pretty cool looking. Definitely very unique overall for an outfit. I think it kind of reminds me of just a thrown together Halloween costume, but does pair very well. Last up here, but not least, we do have Bongo, what they're calling Ospoo's Superstar. Definitely pairs very well in for this video. And I do think they do Ospoo's justice here. I actually love the purples and yellows mirroring each other. Again, some great color combos that really work with these outfits. Overall though, it should about cover for today's video. If you enjoyed it, like, subscribe, and until the next one. Deuces.